the way that finished up in the last day and a half sort of undo the good that you thought had come from the first few days of this test?
Yeah, it was obviously another disappointing end to a test match for us. I think chasing 300 on that wicket on day 5, the odds are against you. It was always going to be very difficult. So, yeah, I think, from my point of view, where we sort of went wrong, obviously 5 for 20 in the first innings, allowing them to score 350. We then clawed our way back into the game. Probably our best innings of batting on this tour. But having said that, from where we were at 1 for 250 to get bowled out for 350 was disappointing again. There was a chance for us to get a reasonable lead and get ahead of the game, but we weren't able to do that, and sort of went downhill from there.
How deeply do you have to review it now? Like, is it a personnel thing? Do you throw all the plans that you had out of the window? Do you start from scratch? Do you find the corner?
All of the above. It's a hard one to grasp, really. It's been a very tough series again. I think that's our third straight loss in straight whitewash loss in the subcontinent in a row. What we're doing isn't working. Batters aren't adapting to the conditions. The spin bowlers aren't adapting to the conditions. I can't fault our quicks. I thought they did a great job, particularly Mitchell Starc throughout this series. But our batters and spinners are the ones that have to step up in these conditions, and we haven't been able to do that.
Steve, when you look back on say the first innings of the series in Kalakele, is that really where you lost the opportunity to, I suppose, drive the series and you were playing catch up?
Yeah, that was a great opportunity for us. I thought we did particularly well that first day to bowl them out for 117, and then we, a lead of 86, I think it was, that in that first innings wasn't good enough. We had another chance to go really big and put the Sri Lankan batters under a bit of pressure, and we weren't able to do that. And since then, I guess we haven't really fought our way back. It's been difficult. We've batted second in every game we've played. You're always sort of behind the game, knowing you have to bat last in these conditions is always tough. So, if that first innings of the series did hurt us.
And in terms of, you talked about batsmen and spin bowlers in particular, have you got any thoughts on what specifically can be done in those two departments to improve in these conditions?
I think looking at this wicket and the way this game played, the newer ball was probably the hardest time to bat, when the ball was sort of skidding quite fiercely and spinning. I think when the ball got a little bit softer and the air sort of came out of the ball, it was a little bit easier to play. And we didn't sort of cash in on those moments or identify those moments well enough. I guess with the spin bowling, it's about landing the ball in the right area enough, trying to build enough pressure and not let the batters get away. And I thought the spinners did okay in the first innings. I think we kept it to around 2.5 and over the whole innings, which is much better than what we had been doing. But still got to take wickets at the same time. You look at the way their bowlers bowl. They come under the ball, they change their pace really well, and they put the ball in the right areas. And as batters, you have to really work for your runs. I think for their batters, that they've been able to, find a loose ball, not have to sort of search for it like our batters have had to. So, we've still got a lot of work to do in these conditions.
What was the thinking behind Moses coming into the team?
Obviously, we'd lost a few test matches, and when that happens, it's always talked about making changes. And the selectors thought that Moses was the right option to come in. He's regarded as a good player of spin. Obviously didn't get his chance to get in and prove that. Obviously getting in these conditions is very tough, and once you get in you have to make it count. So he never really got a chance to get in. So I guess we don't know, but that was the selector's call to give him an opportunity.
Did you back that, mate? Is that coming?
Sorry?
Did you back that coming?
Yeah, look, the selectors are there to do a job, and I back whatever they go with. Whatever team I'm given, we're out there to do a job, and in this series we haven't been able to do that.
Steve, Darren Lehman's talked after Gaul trying to get the domestic pitches back in Australia, back to what they used to be, so Sydney turning a bit more and maybe get some dry wickets in Adelaide and Hobart. So we can improve against spin bowling and get better when we go into it. You've got the academy up to Brisbane, changing the swords and what have you. Do you feel the same, that maybe the decks back in Australia need to change, maybe if Australia going to improve their batting against spin bowling?
Yeah, I'd love the wickets to be as they were, I guess, back in the old days where SCG broke up and reverse swung and spun late in the game. Adelaide the same. I guess it's hard with Adelaide now as a drop-in wicket to get that same sort of surface up. But yeah, I think even when the wickets are turning back home, they're different to the subcontinent wickets. They've always got that little bit more bounce than the wickets over here. So I guess it's hard to replicate anything that you get in the subcontinent back home. We've got the spinning wicket, as you said, up in at the NCC. I've had a bat on that, but it spins, but it's probably a bit too much bounce for what you sort of get in the subcontinent. So it's hard to replicate what you're going to get, but I would like to, as much as we can, see the Shield wickets back to the old days as such.
Last two starting, Pete.
Steve, is your start was outstanding for you. What are the positives that you can sort of take from the series?
Not too many positives, to be honest with you. We've been outplayed in every facet of the game. Our plans haven't worked as individuals or as a collective group. We haven't been able to put Sri Lanka under as much pressure as we would have liked. But having said that, Mitchell Starc was outstanding throughout this series. He did the job when no one else was able to do it. And yeah, I think he's improving every day.
Was the reason why you didn't bowl low? Because he was a batsman?
Yeah, he was picked pretty much as a batsman. He can obviously bowl a little bit. Mitch Marsh is the all-rounder in the team, and he bowled a little bit. I guess in these conditions, it's the spinner's job to get the majority of the wickets, and as the Sri Lankan spinners did, we just haven't been able to do that.
So just on Rangan Nehera, man of the series, I think third most wickets for a spinner in 3 tests. Could we get your view on his performance as centre-back?
Yeah, he's a very tough character to face. He's always at you. He's always at your stumps. He changes his pace beautifully. He bowls from different parts of the crease. Changes his angles up. He's always at you. You never really get a freebie off him, or an easy boundary. You've always got to work for your runs, and he's always hitting your stumps, which is important as a left arm finger spinner to the right-handed batters in particular. He's a terrific bowler in these conditions, and he had a magnificent series.